Boosting Self-Esteem Guide Part 2. Chapter 3, Overcoming Negative Thinking. Dispelling fears for a more positive outlook. Fears and phobias are something which can have an effect on anyone to some extent. While most of us can conquer our fear, and most fears and phobias are dislikes more than actual phobias, for some people fear and phobia can be severely distressing and have a huge impact on their day-to-day living. Fear and phobias obviously cause negativity, and constant negativity gets us down. While some phobias and fear can be deep-seated, you can break the hold it has over you with time and help. There are various methods of help, and the more deeply seated the fear or phobia, the more likely professional help may be advised in the form of a therapy or hypnotherapy. If the fear is only mild, then you may overcome it by using self-help methods. Understanding fears and phobias. In order to be able to conquer fears and phobias, it is essential that you understand them. Fear and phobia simply causes us uncomfortable thoughts and feelings when placed in certain situations. It can bring feelings such as nausea, vomiting, dizziness, a terrible feeling, a tight band of pressure around the head, pains in the chest, a feeling of breathlessness and trembling. These are all feelings that we ourselves allow to build up and take over our mind and body. Dispelling fear is a matter of taking back control and putting things into perspective. This is the basis behind curing any form of fear or phobia. Although if you suffered for many years, it will take longer for you to recover. Recovery is possible. Phobias and fear are basically exaggerated anxiety, and learning methods and ways to relax is a good start to curing fear and phobias. There are many self-help books, DVDs, courses and audio courses that can help you make a start. Any self-help material designed for dealing with anxiety and stress will help, but there are many specifically aimed at those suffering from fear and phobia. Benefits of overcoming the fear. The benefits of dealing with and overcoming phobia and fear is immense, and those who have recovered and overcome their fears and phobias have likened it to being reborn again. The world takes on new meaning when fears are dispelled. A new positive outlook develops, which leads to living a happier and more fulfilled life. You start to feel good about yourself and what you can accomplish in life. You are finally free to do anything and everything that your heart desires. While there might still occasionally be some anxiety for a time when confronted by your fear or phobia, it will be unlike the intense fear that once had you incapacitated from it. Once you have realized that the key to overcoming these feelings is inside you, the fear you feel doesn't have the same hold on you it once did and will eventually give up its hold on you altogether. Overcoming dissociation. Dissociation causes us problems with our emotions, physical sensations and how we feel about ourselves as well as the world around us. It is often associated with depression and anxiety, or when a person has gone through a traumatic experience. People suffering from dissociation often have feelings of unreality and often fear they are going insane or that they have some incurable illness. Talking with and being around others becomes almost impossible, and deep anxiety that is caused by the feelings can develop into a social phobia. The feeling of dissociation can vary from person to person depending on the circumstances that brought it about, but common thoughts and feelings associated with disassociation include: the world around feels unreal, not belonging in the world, a grey fog covering their vision like having a veil over your head, the world is moving at a faster pace than normal, confusion, a terrible feeling of not being able to cope, unsure of yourself, others find happiness but not you, extreme anxiety, feelings that everyone is against you, feelings that everyone is talking about you. These are just some of the feelings caused by disassociation, and these feelings eventually cause the sufferer to believe that they have to turn deeper inward to themselves in order to get back into reality. They continually watch themselves for any brief glimpse that reality as they knew it is returning. Of course, the more they turn inward and worry, the worse the symptoms are. Cognitive behavioral therapy can help those suffering to overcome feelings of dissociation, particularly when the cause is severe trauma. Those suffering from dissociation due to anxiety and stress may be able to rid themselves of the feelings through self-help methods and the help and understanding of a doctor. It is important to remember that the world hasn't actually changed. It is only your perception of the world and those around you that has really changed, and these are only temporary thoughts and feelings you are having. Once you have conquered and overcome what is causing the feelings of dissociation, you will see things as you once used to. For those who suffer from feelings of dissociation due to depression and anxiety, they should realize that the feelings are just that, no more than feelings, and these feelings will leave in time. It is important not to be constantly studying them and wondering when they will go. Try to accept that they are here for a time and give them no more thought. Once you have lost some interest in your feelings and are not constantly worrying about them, it can be surprising how quickly the world once again becomes the world you once knew. Accepting your feelings and any thoughts you might have during this period is essential, for it is only when you lose fear of the situation can you recover. Overcoming doubt. Healthy doubt. Remember, some amount of doubt can always be helpful in gaining wisdom or achieving advancement in life. But when it becomes a cause for your depression and inactivity, or when it stands like an insurmountable hurdle in your way to reach your destination, draw upon your energy reserves that can toughen up your mind. You have to strengthen your will to succeed at all costs and weaken doubt by all possible means, so that you will lead a life of fulfillment. You may succeed because of your doubt or in spite of your doubt. Or, you may have to accept the inevitable and compromise with whatever worst-case scenario that presents itself. If this happens, just change course, re-energize your cylinders and start afresh on your revised path. Defeat doubt before it defeats you. Overcoming feelings of helplessness. We all come across feelings of helplessness to some degree or another sometime during our life. This is fine as long as we get back on track and overcome these feelings. However, for some, feelings of helplessness set in and begin to affect our way of thinking and life. Here are some helpful tips to help you understand those feelings of helplessness and how to overcome them. Begin by identifying the problems, fears, issues and obstacles which make you feel helpless and try to discover why they make you feel this way. Work on ways that encourage you to take on new beliefs that you can be independent, self-confident and are capable of dealing with anything that crops up in the future. Learn ways to deal with these feelings of helplessness when they crop up. Practice ways to deal with conflicts and problem solving when they arise. If you have relapse and begin to doubt again, remember that this is only normal and pick back up from where you left off. Whatever the success, however small, be sure to reward yourself. Realize that it will take time to change our feelings of helplessness, so always strive towards your goals. Don't aim for perfection all the time. No one is perfect. We all make mistakes. Identify what you need to do to grow in the skills of self-coping, self-healing and self-confidence. Feelings of helplessness can cause us many problems in life. The longer you feel helpless, the less control you have over your own life. Here are some common experiences that occur through helplessness. You begin to feel that no matter what you do or how hard you try, you cannot succeed in life. You become over-dependent on others around you to help you overcome your problems. You see yourself as totally incompetent. You develop a deep-seated fear that you are unable to handle a situation. You become miserable, unhappy in life and depression sets in. You think of yourself as a victim that always needs rescuing from situations. You have a pessimistic outlook on life in general. You are afraid others see you as being frail and weak. You become despondent because you run out of people who are willing to look after you by solving your problems. You resign yourself to the fact that you will always be helpless, that you cannot possibly change. There are many ways you can help yourself overcome these feelings. The important thing to remember is that you are not alone and you can take back control over your life and make important decisions again to successfully solve your problems. All you need is to have faith in yourself and dig deep and find that faith and bring it to the surface. While we all have the ability to overcome our problems ourselves, it doesn't hurt to get advice from friends and relatives as long as you aren't relying on them totally to solve your problems for you. Overcoming inner conflicts. Commitment makes life a lot easier to deal with. By making a decision and sticking to it no matter what and staying committed without letting unwanted thoughts drift into your mind, you are able to deal with any obstacle in your way. Inner conflicts lead us nowhere but to indecisiveness and are an open invitation to stress and losing confidence in ourselves. While we all have them at some time or another, it is important that we know how to deal with them and resolve them and move forward with a positive attitude. Again, by resolving inner conflicts, you are able to vastly improve your self-esteem, allow yourself to be more focused, and feel less stressed. Listen to your inner voice and guide yourself when it comes to making choices and decisions. Be in total control over your life, manage and achieve goals that you have set out in life, and create a healthier, more relaxing and happier future. After all, the person you are now is the result of what has happened throughout your life. Instead of dealing with the unresolved issues, you perhaps built up a wall and kept them in rather than facing them and dealing with them. It is essential that you break down the wall and bring these out into the open and deal with them now. Overcoming unresolved issues and inner conflicts relies on letting go of the past and beliefs from the past, including letting go of old habits and emotions, discovering the true inner you and listening to the inner you. Realize that you are capable of helping yourself and becoming the person you truly are. Learning to become focused and centered on yourself, realizing what stresses you and why, making yourself let go of the feelings and thoughts you harbor relating from past issues, visualizing the new you, the more confident and decisive you until it becomes a reality. There are many courses, self-help books, DVDs and audio CDs which can help you to overcome past unresolved issues and so overcome and deal with inner conflicts. However, there is no magical cure and it will take time to resolve these issues and start seeing a better way of dealing with and coping with life. While some of us change merely by using self-help methods, others get more benefit from attending meeting groups or seeing a therapist in the early stages. It is important to realize, however, that you can change and only you can do it, whichever method you choose to take to get you there. It all basically comes down to the same thing, changing your feelings and thoughts. Overcoming intimidation. Intimidation can happen everywhere, in all walks of life, and can occur in any age group. Being intimidated by someone is a form of being bullied. It happens in school, the workplace, by co-workers or the boss, when shopping, and in many other situations. Some people are not even aware that they are being intimidated, while for others it can make their life a misery day in and day out, with them suffering intimidation on a regular basis. You might even be the one who is intimidating others. People who are constantly intimidated go through many feelings, but there are many steps that you can take to help eliminate intimidation. In order to be able to deal successfully with intimidation, you first have to understand what intimidation really is. It can come in many disguises. Using force to get what you want from others, threatening to or using power and control to get others to do what you want, getting others to believe they are more powerful than you, using size or strength to get others to do what you want or threaten them, holding punishments over their heads such as being fired, spanking or divorce, being quick-tempered, angry, or getting into a rage with someone to get them to do what you want, behaving in a manner that has others frightened to step up to you, using your wealth to get others to do what you want, using racial or sexual slurs towards others. There are many steps you can take to stop allowing others to intimidate you. The first step you should take is to look at yourself and determine if your irrational, unhealthy way of thinking has allowed yourself to become intimidated by others. If you think this might have been the case, then you should take steps towards identifying new, healthier ways of thinking to help you overcome and respond to the intimidating factors. Display your new ways of thinking and acting to those who are intimidating you. This will show them that you are no longer willing to be intimidated by them. Develop ways of dealing with people in case they respond negatively to the new you. See the consequences of your new assertive behavior. Stick to your guns and accept whatever the consequences are of your new behavior. The next step to take once you have developed a strategy for dealing with those who intimidate you is to develop ways to reinforce your beliefs in the new you. The easiest way is to use daily affirmations or positive self-talk. Examples of positive self-talk include: I am a good person, who is worthy and deserves to be treated with respect. I will not put anyone in a superhuman position over me. I will take my life back under my control from any who tries to intimidate me in the future. I will not allow others to intimidate me. There is no one out there who can intimidate me. Overcoming the need to be in control. Some of us have problems when it comes to being in control. We simply have the urge to control all aspects of life for those around us, and this can lead to many problems. There are many negative effects that come with the compulsive need to fix everyone's problems, and they can have a severe effect on your life in general. So what is the need to be in control or to fix? In addition, what are the negative effects? And how can you help yourself to give up the need to be in control? You could be said to have issues of needing to be in control if any of the following apply to you or someone you know. You compulsively go to someone's rescue, regardless of whether they ask for your help or not, just because you believe it is the way the task or situation should be dealt with. The feeling that other people are in need becomes an automatic response to you. You strongly believe that things have to be perfect or just right for people, otherwise, they cannot possibly be happy in life. You feel you have to change people because you cannot accept them as they are. You strongly believe that you know what is best for others and try your best to make them see things your way. You accept personal responsibility for the actions of others. You cannot help but give advice to others or offer your help to them. People see you as interfering in their lives. You have a strong need to feel wanted or needed, which leads to you becoming overly involved in the business of others. Things don't feel right if you are not helping others or fixing their problems. The most common negative effects that compulsive behavior such as this can have on a person includes: you develop relationships where people become overly dependent on you. You cannot remain emotionally uninvolved if you come across someone you see as needing your help. You lose friendships due to you needing to be in control over their lives. You begin to neglect your own needs in favor of dealing with others around you. You are ridden with guilt if things don't improve for a person. You might become angry with those you have helped if they don't show enough recognition for what you have done. You develop low self-esteem through losing yourself with others. Ways which you can develop to overcome the need to be in control are: have the belief that others have the ability to fix their own problems. Set up a boundary between those you think need your help. Don't get hooked on needing recognition from others. Accept that the only person you should control is yourself. Tell people to confront you if you try to give them unwanted help or advice. Realize that people have the ability to change themselves if they should want to. Only offer help to those who clearly ask for it. Overcoming trauma. There are many thoughts and feelings associated with a traumatic experience. Trauma occurs when we are faced with any terrible situation, such as a car accident, fire, witness to an accident, natural disaster, an attack on your person, war, etc. Many people who are recovering from a traumatic experience mentally block out the experience that caused distress, while others will relive it time and time again. Trauma can bring many feelings such as shock. Shock is a normal reaction to any traumatic experience, and the closer you were to the experience, the more shock sets in. Your brain has to process the terrible images you have seen, and this is when the feelings of shock set in and will take time to digest. Disbelief. Many people experiencing a shocking situation have strong belief that what they have witnessed cannot possibly have happened. Denial. Many people deny that the event happened, they try to force it out of their mind. Emotional pain. Even if you haven't been hurt in the incident, you will feel the pain of those around you who did. Anger. After shock, anger will set in. You will ask yourself, why has this happened to you? And you can feel anger towards anyone and everyone. Blame. We very often blame ourselves or others for what has happened. We may even blame God for letting this happen. Sadness. When overcoming a particular traumatic experience, you will feel waves of sadness suddenly overwhelming you. Depression. For some time after the experience, you may suddenly lapse into depression from time to time. Anxiety. Anxiety often develops from fear and can continue for some time after the experience. All of the above are the most common feelings and thoughts associated with having gone through trauma. These feelings can come in no particular order and at any time. What you should realize is that these feelings are only natural and are your body and mind's way of coping with what happened. The feelings and thoughts will eventually dissipate with time. There are many ways you can cope with them and help yourself to overcome them. The best way for you, of course, will depend on the severity of the trauma you were exposed to. There are, however, a number of coping skills which can be learnt in order to help you overcome trauma. Taking about what happened and letting it all out, listening to and accepting advice from family, friends or counselor, accepting what happened and continuing on with life, changing your environment, taking part in recreational activities, picking up your old daily routine, taking part in seminars. Chapter 4. Becoming an optimistic individual and achieve goals in life. Developing your self-image. How you see yourself goes a long way to how you feel about yourself and how others see you and think of you. If you think positively on the inside, then you will glow with confidence on the outside and come across this way to others. Feeling good about yourself is essential if you are to be happy in life and make the most out of life. It can make the difference of you being successful or failing. It is all about how you see your self-image. People suffer from low self-esteem for many reasons, and if they have been brought up feeling negatively about themselves, then developing a positive self-image will be difficult, but not impossible. Developing a positive outlook is about changing your thoughts and feelings about yourself, and if you have been thinking negative thoughts for a long time, changing the habit will take time. However, by adapting a new way of thinking and sticking to this new way of thinking, you will eventually banish unwanted negative feelings and will automatically replace them with positive ones in your day-to-day life. When this happens, your outlook changes, and with your outlook, you change. Where once you might have thought something would be beyond your capabilities, you will now look at it in a different light and begin to realize it is within your grasp. There are many ways which you can use to develop a more positive self-image and esteem. There are self-help books dedicated to the subject, audio sessions which you listen and follow, DVDs, hypnotherapy audio, or attending counseling sessions. They all, however, rely basically on the same principle: understanding what confidence really is, gaining confidence in yourself, ridding yourself of negative beliefs and replacing them with positive ones, and learning strategies which allow you to remain confident in any situation. The basics behind developing a more positive outlook and self-image are thinking about positive self-image and confidence and understanding what it means to you, getting to know yourself better, recognizing your strengths and building on those strengths moving forward, and constantly changing negative thoughts into more positive ones, reflecting on what you have learnt and seeing the positive changes you are making to your life. We all talk to ourselves at one time or another, and we may find ourselves continually putting ourselves down and are very slow to praise ourselves. This must be changed. We want to change unhelpful self-talk and replace it with positive and encouraging self-talk. The easiest way to do this is by getting rid of irrational thoughts and replace them with rational ones. Replace negative thoughts and feelings with positive. Give yourself credit. Repeat positive affirmations to yourself when needed throughout the day. Change the shape of your self-image. While we all understand the importance of eating healthy, exercising and dieting, very few realize that changing our self-image is just as important to leading a healthy lifestyle. How you think and feel about yourself goes a long way to bringing happiness and success into your life, and in order to change your self-image, just as you give your body a workout, you need to give your mind a workout too. The first step you need to take is to determine what exactly it is you would like to be and what you are already good at or enjoy doing. You might say you are good at sports, poetry, and spending time with friends. The one thing you don't want to do is create a list of things that you don't like about yourself. This would only make you feel inadequate and hinder your ability to change yourself and your self-image. By focusing on the good in yourself, you will be able to quickly change your self-image into something that you are proud of. Visualization and affirmations can help you to realize just how great you already are. See yourself doing and becoming everything that you originally wrote down. Repeat positive affirmations throughout the day to help the new way of thinking sink in and develop your new positive outlook. By vividly imagining this new you, your mind will retrain until you understand that all the things you visualize are true. Consider keeping a journal. Develop your intuition. Your own intuition is your greatest asset, and if more people developed an ear to listening to what we are actually saying inside, then more of us would know the way to go and how to successfully achieve what it is we want out of life, simply by following our own inner guidance. Your own personal journal can be a great way of developing your intuition and listening to yourself and what lies within you. Record all the little things that you might let pass you by, such as flashes of inspiration, premonitions, or hunches about something, basically anything that your intuition is telling you. Keeping a journal is essential because inspiration can strike at any time. Some of the greatest inventors and thinkers kept journals, including one of the most prolific inventors in history, Thomas Edison. One of the most helpful things a journal does is give us the ability to look back on records and refer to them. For example, if you encountered a problem and overcame it in the past and a similar problem crops up, then you can reflect back and apply the same solution or adapt it for a more positive outcome. Your journal can remind you of past achievements, and this goes a long way to building self-confidence and helping you succeed in life when things get tough, and can help comfort you. Learn from the past. In short, children and adults of all ages do need positive feedback and people to demonstrate in a sincere manner their care and concern. Start up young and encourage your mate and children to make good, healthy, positive choices. And when they fail at something, offer them hope and encouragement to try and try again. Also encourage education, regardless of the level you have. Too many adults often say they want their children to success, yet negate comments all through childhood in areas of advancing education. So do offer plenty of reading materials around the home, show by example and read yourself, encourage workshops, online classes, ebooks and more. Try to point out and help guide children and mates in their areas of their strengths, like subjects in school, chess, math, music, hobbies, crafts, musical instruments, singing, and service to others, volunteer work, part-time job. Reach out and show positive feedback. And reach out with human love, care and respect. You'll gain in return, increasing your own self-esteem and love. Stop underestimating your worth. It is important that you do not underestimate your worth, as you are what you think you are. Self-esteem is all about thoughts and what you think of yourself. If you think confidence, then you will appear confident, and then this will show on the outside. When people realize their worth, they are able to face life with greater confidence and optimism about the future. They are more likely to be able to reach their goals and gain experience, satisfaction and happiness from life, are better able to form lasting relationships that work, and are better able to cope with whatever life throws at them. A person who realizes their self-worth is a happy, well-adjusted person who possesses the ability to cope with anything and anyone throughout their life and is capable of doing anything they set their mind on doing. Problems caused by underestimating your self-worth. Many problems can occur in your life simply by underestimating your own self-worth. A lack of self-worth affects your sense of well-being, causes problems with your feelings and needs, affects your ability to make good, healthy choices in relationships, work and life in general, and cause fears such as abandonment and problems such as people continually striving for perfection but never seeming to reach it. A lack of self-worth has been attributed to being indecisive, addictions such as smoking, drinking, drug abuse, compulsive shopping disorder, and problems with eating such as bulimia and anorexia. Realizing your self-worth. There are several ways in which you can begin to change your pattern of thought and boost your self-esteem. That in turn begins the process of realizing your true self-worth. The basics behind making this correction are learning to recognize self-critical thoughts and stopping them, learning to replace self-thoughts with more positive ones, sticking with the habit of correcting your negative thoughts with more positive ones. There are many ways in which you can begin to set the pattern of changed thoughts, but perhaps the easiest one is using affirmations, which are simple positive statements, and using these to replace any negative thoughts. Examples of positive affirmations could be, "This is a new and exciting challenge." This could be used to replace thoughts such as, "This is too hard," or "I can't do this, it's beyond me." "I am a confident, worthy individual." Replace this when you have thoughts such as, "Can I do this?" or "I could never do this." I can do anything my heat desires if I put my mind to it. This can be used to replace thoughts such as I'm not sure if I'm capable of completing this task, or I don't know if I can complete what is asked of me. All of these are simple affirmations that you can use to gradually change the way you think, which in time will change the way you feel about yourself and encourage you to realize your true self-worth. Developing your full potential. While many of us are happy in life and do accomplish to some extent what we set out to do, there aren't many that actually push themselves that little bit further and go on to develop their full potential. While we might be particularly good at doing certain things in life, we could excel if only we had the courage and belief in ourselves to go for it. As children, we are full of excellent ideas. They never stop flowing because we have an open mind and belief in ourselves that we can accomplish just about anything. However, as we grow up, fear of if we are doing the right thing and of speaking out and being ridiculed takes over, and we stem the flow of our imagination and ideas. We hold back our thoughts, and this can stop us from developing our full potential. In order to be successful, you should realize that you will sometimes make mistakes. No one is perfect, and mistakes are okay providing you acknowledge them and learn from them. Characteristics that you can nurture and that will lead to developing your true and full potential include working hard, putting your all into everything you do when working towards what you want in life, having patience. Things don't happen overnight, so have patience and you will be rewarded. Determination, stick to your guns and never give in when things don't go your way or you come across hurdles. Commitment, be committed towards your goals and what you want to achieve. Set goals in mind and don't let anything or anyone stand in your way of reaching them. Organizational skills, the more organized you are, the easier the road to success will be. Plan out your ideas to their fullest before putting them into action. Learn from mistakes. You will make mistakes along the way, but you can learn valuable lessons from these and move on. Confidence in yourself. You have to be self-confident and believe in yourself and your ideas. There is no room for doubt. Stay realistic. Don't set yourself goals that you cannot realistically achieve in a set amount of time. By setting yourself unrealistic goals, you are setting yourself up for failure again and again. When developing your full potential, the two most important things to remember are what you want out of life and what you can realistically do to make that possible. Once you have these facts clear, then you can go full steam ahead towards achieving what you want. Boost your self-esteem by running. Running is a great self-esteem booster, especially if you are a beginning runner. Running will allow you to test and expand your limits like never before. With each milestone you reach, you will find yourself more confident and able to take on the world. Starting out slow reaps big rewards. Even if you can't run to the mailbox without huffing and puffing, you can run to boost self-esteem. The first time you run to the mailbox, down the street, around the block, or whatever distance it is, you will feel a great sense of pride and accomplishment. The first time you go out, you will probably do a lot more walking than you will running. However, if you keep at it, you will soon find yourself running more and more until one day you'll run the entire route without stopping. The important thing to remember is to start out slow and not overdo it in the beginning. Your body does need to adjust to your new activity levels, especially if you previously lead a sedentary lifestyle. Overdoing it and causing overuse injuries can be a big discouragement, especially after seeing the progress that you made. Most people won't want to increase their weekly mileage by more than 10%. However, do what works best for you. Some people can handle a larger mileage increase and others need to increase the mileage much more slowly. Running is 90% mental. Despite how your muscles may feel, 90% of running is purely the mental capacity to be able to do it. Building up this side of your brain by telling yourself you can do it, you can finish the race, you can run for 30 minutes non-stop, or whatever your goal is will invariably be a surefire way to build up your self-esteem. What happens is that while running, in order to finish, you will have to come up with some good things to say to yourself, often referred to as positive self-talk. This self-talk not only gets you through your current run, but will start seeping into the rest of your life, and you'll find yourself using it at work, while doing dishes, and burdensome tasks will no longer feel so bad. To begin with, you must believe that you have some inherent strengths. Banish all negativity in thought and action. Never say to yourself, "I can't. I don't have it within me." Instead, think that you have the strength within you to encounter any situation, no matter what that is, and that you can, and you surely will, succeed in dealing with it in an appropriate manner. Remember, self-belief is confidence, and gaining confidence is half the battle. The next step is to start exploring yourself. Closely examine your background, the genetic as well as the acquired. Not that you have not done this before. You might very well have. Now you need to do it more systematically. Write down what you inherited from your parents or grandparents. If you don't think you've inherited any, think about what they have taught you. Is it possible that somewhere deep within you, you have those very strengths, but you have not realized that you could use them? List all the strengths and talents of your parents or grandparents. See if some or all of them you can put to use. For instance, does music run in the family? Did you ever notice that your mother had tons of patience? You too may have it within you, without being aware of it. Have you ever noticed that you have, by nature, a way with words that others you know do not have? Have you not put this skill to good use? Maybe you are endowed with a strong physique, but you are not aware of the ways in which your physical strength can be utilized profitably. Explore, experiment, and, finally, exploit. That should be your strategy in drawing out your strengths into the open. Educational strengths. This is not once-in-a-lifetime exercise. As your life keeps progressing, periodical reviews of your strengths help you pinpoint unknown strengths that may help lead you down the right path. Who knows, you may strike gold. How NLP can help you? Chances are that many of those who first come across NLP wonder what it is all about, even if it appears in the context of influencing human behavior through the adoption and practice of certain established techniques and procedures. Actually, NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming, where neuro is something related to both mind and body, linguistic is about language patterns or structures, and programming is devising ways and means of coordinating mind, body and language for shaping behavior so as to achieve better results than before in various walks of life. In a sense, NLP can help you in many ways, if only you get to know its techniques and how to use them for your benefit. Changed perceptions. You can turn to NLP when you are interested in developing your personality traits and characteristics, which determine your verbal and non-verbal reactions to the happenings in this world. As a first step, let us understand that your perception of reality is based on your subjectivity. Just as a map is merely a miniature representation of a territory, what you perceive as real is only a colored representation of reality, not the reality itself. You can't help but look at the world through rose-colored glasses. Your reactions are dictated not by the reality but by your view of that reality. NLP helps you in realizing this and reducing, if not completely removing, your subjectivity. You will then perhaps consider adopting alternative viewpoints of reality and, consequently, bringing about a shift in the way you react to it. Get rid of phobias. You can similarly get rid of your phobias, if any, by going into the factors that cause your fear in the first place, with the help of NLP techniques. You can perhaps look at things in the way that your adversaries do. You can perhaps consider the same things from a totally new perspective. Or, you can perhaps study people who have achieved excellence in any particular aspect of their life, find out what qualities and factors contributed to their success, and then try and import the same or similar factors and qualities into your life in an effort to achieve excellence in your chosen field. You can lower your levels of unhappiness or raise the levels of happiness by transforming your belief portfolio, your preconceived notions, your language patterns that display your innermost feelings, your unconscious mind that exposes your conscious reactions to the external world, and so on. In short, as the NLP practitioners claim, NLP transforms you into a new you, a happier you and a more effective you, capable of dealing with this world in a much better way than before. Decluttering for success. If we are surrounded by clutter and disorganization in our lives, it makes an excellent breeding ground for negativity. Negativity is what brings about feelings of low self-worth and low self-esteem, which hinders us in life and is the basis for us being unsuccessful in what we choose to do. It is essential, therefore, if we want to succeed and make the most out of life, that we declutter from time to time and remove any excess obstacles and belongings from our path, keeping our lives open and free-flowing. Here are some simple points to remember to keep your home and life clutter-free. Replace old with new. This applies to anything which you bring into your home, be it clothing, utensils, furniture or any other item. If you continually buy and bring new items into your home, then very quickly you are going to be overrun with items which usually end up being packed in cartons and put in the basement. Even if you pack items and put them in the basement, it is still clutter that you could do without, so get into the habit of throwing things away or giving them to charity when you buy new. Don't keep unnecessary things. In order to keep your home clutter-free, it is essential that you don't keep anything which is not essential. Items belonging in this category include junk mail, which appears through your letterbox, flyers, old newspapers, magazines, letters or trash from your car. Letters that you don't need can be shredded immediately, the same for junk mail, while any trash from your car should be collected daily and disposed of immediately. It is surprising, if you get into the habit, how much junk you can eliminate building up in your home on a daily basis just by taking care with items such as this. Throw anything away that you don't like. Never hang on to items simply because you were given them as presents. While this may sound harsh, it leads to unnecessary clutter. If you don't like something, then don't keep it. Give it away to someone who likes it or sell it, but don't hang on to it. Have a goal when looking around your home. Have a goal in mind when decluttering. For example, treat each room separately and say to yourself, I aim to declutter this room by 25%. If you start out with a clear goal in mind, you will feel more in control, organized, and feel you are accomplishing something. You should divide the clutter into 3 piles, those items you can sell, the ones which are trash, and those that you wish to give to charity. Starting out with a clear plan and goal in mind makes decluttering your life so much easier. Never procrastinate. Be harsh with yourself and don't feel guilty about throwing something away or giving it away. Once you start decluttering, don't give it a second thought and remove something from a pile and change your mind about getting rid out of sentiment. If we stop and think about every item in this way, it sows the seeds of doubt and negativity that leads to disorganization and a home full of items we don't need. Thank you for watching my video.